the Does anybody remember Boomco? I've never featured Boomco on my channel, even though I remember when the first commercial came out. I remember unboxing these brand new, getting lots of ammo for something I never used and put in a bin and never touched again, and that is where it has sat since before I started my channel. But the thing that got me interested again was these. These are super cool, and I kind of took them for granted because now they're really expensive, and I did not pay the super ridiculous price for either of these. This one, obviously, I got from Goodwill, and that's what compelled me to buy another one. They just happened to be this yellow with this orange fade that looks beautiful. I got this one off eBay from a Halo collector, so it's not just Nerf modders that buy these things. Halo collectors want them as well, since it looks like the Halo pistol, and you can fire it around. Feels like you're in the game, kinda. Not really. It shoots like 30 feet, and I'm guessing that's because these were left primed, because they have a dart lock. Unless you have a dart in there, it's stuck primed, and that's how I found this one, and that's how this one arrived. So that is why I'm guessing they're so expensive, because Halo collectors and modders want them. And they're kind of around the $30 to $50 price range sold, so take the listing pictures I provide with a grain of salt. From what I've seen, there's a mod guide on how to make these hit over 100 FPS with boomco darts, but that's not what I'm going to be doing today. Someone's already done it. I'm sure it's been done to death, honestly. But looking at this barrel, it's the same outer diameter, pretty much identical, to 1732 brass. So, if it has a decent sized plunger tube, which I know it does, I've taken this apart, you can see some stress marks there, I think it could fire them pretty well. And I love this form factor, so having something like this that fires standard darts, maybe half darts, if I feel like it, that would be wonderful. And prying these apart is the first step, which I have already done. There's a pin here that connects to this plunger rod it goes through, which is why it has a nail head on the other side. Getting this off, there's a pin in between here, that's real difficult. And the reason for that is they have these little anchors in them that hold them into the plastic, so getting it open, you might break something. I think the stress marks, rather than cracking the slide, was a miracle. Okay, this pin is still being okay, yeah. So they're coming out pretty easily now, not just because I've taken this apart a couple times for planning the modification. I'm not just going into this and winging it, I have some plans. I dremeled down the anchors a little bit. I would not recommend doing it too much. You still want them to anchor in place a little bit. So this one specifically, so it doesn't fall out, because then if it does, you can't prime the blaster anymore, and that's not good. Well, everything tried to jump out at me, so I had to sort of put it back together here. But there you go, there's your internals, there's your dart lock, get that right out of there. And this came apart in multiple pieces, so if you wanted to paint this, you very easily could, and I wouldn't paint it half bad. But I like this color, and I've heard it's kind of a hot one, so I'm not going to paint it. Plus, I don't even want to. I don't care to. I'm not going to make my basement smell like paint. But here you go. Here's your plunger assembly, which isn't even glued together at all. You've got a spring rest. There's your spring that's... Oh, that could be better. Nice, thick plunger rod. Oh, and it's padded. Oh, that's great. The catch... No, that's pretty sturdy. I was looking at it, it looked weak at first, but now I'm seeing there's more of it than I thought, so that's great. Nice size plunger tube, by the way, and it has no tapering at all, so you're going to get great seal throughout the whole thing. This barrel just comes off, which has the dart lock pin in it, so that can go bye-bye. Oh, wow. Look at all that. Nothing is glued together. That comes off. And that just fits right into here. It's literally perfect. Look at that! It could not fit more perfectly. while I'm working on this, I want to show this trick that I've used for making brass tighter. See that? I've only ever seen this in older mods. I saw someone do it to a tech target pistol. That's how long ago that was. I think I'm only going to do it in 2 places since this is a bit of a shorter barrel. What you do is you squeeze the brass in certain places. You got to be careful to not cut it by accident. You squeeze it enough. Take that out. So it's going to be tighter in that area. And then I do it in one more spot, and that should be good. There it is. Ready to put it back together. I ended up tightening it in 4 places and using 2-part epoxy to initially glue the barrel in, but I feel like I might be clumsy and snap the barrel off by accident. It's not just for impact reasons, but I have some steel stick putty in there for additional reinforcement. What the? Where the hell did that go? That works nice. That works really nice. It has no struggle at all. Seal's alright. I thought it was going to be way better than that, but I didn't upgrade the seal at all. Now to see if it can take this significantly heavier spring after I chronograph this one. Then I'm going to put this in. No problem. Wow. Holy crap! I looked back at that and it didn't appear very impressive on camera, but wait till you hear the numbers here. So the stock spring got from 78 to 86 FPS. The new spring in here, which is I think about twice as heavy as this one, maybe not quite, got 118 to 126. I can't think of anything that could compete with this other than my brass Scout, which only gets about 70 FPS. And I'm not counting the side strike, because the side strike has a weak plunger rod, a tapered plunger tube, and this area in the slide even broke, so I had to put a pin through it, exactly like what this one has stock. This is the strongest pistol internally and externally that feels and looks anything like the Scout. I gotta fire it again. Hey, listen to that! It's so good! Maybe if I speak in caveman, that says something. Like... oh.